Okay, and early, good yontif.
Morning, Rob.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, we are starting on the, so to speak, the top of Pei Gimel Amud Beis, right?
Yes,
Okay, everybody else is muted, I think, right? Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick review and then we'll roll over again. We've been dealing with the question of basically moving the part, a machloket with Rabbi Akiva, moving the parts of an idol or the whole idol. What level of tuma is it? Okay, and on the bottom of the previous Amud, we found it said Amar Rabbi Berei de Rabbi Iba. Okay, Kiditnan is taught in the Mishnah, Hazav B'kaf Maznayim. He tries to give a comparison that if a Zav was to sit, okay, put his hand on a pan of scales on one side, V'ochlin Mashkin B'kaf Shniya, and that there's food or liquid on the other pan, Kara Hazav. Considered to be Tameh, okay? And then we rolled over, Karu Hain, and namely if the food and drink were to tip the scales, Tohorim, okay? They would be considered fine, clean, okay? So the Gemara then is picking up this discussion. Keman Azla Hadatanya. According to whom then is the following Braita taught? To whom does it agree with? Right? Kol hatmeot hamesitot tahorot case that
Why am I not hearing you?
I'm not hearing anything.
No. He
I
doesn't
don't hear. I'll send them something.
And where are we anyhow?
top of 83B, 1.
Okay.
Second, in the English, the second on the right-hand side, Rav Chana Baraguri.
For you. Okay. Thank you.
That's what we should be up to. Okay, let's find out who is not there.
Rabbi Green. Rabbi.
So he's not listening. He cannot hear us. He's talking. All right, let's see. If you look on the, well, he's got his microphone off.
That just happened.
There he goes. His microphone is off. Microphone.
okay.
That's better.
All right, okay, I don't know why that one. So the Gemara is raising the question, Rabbi Akiva could still be the author of this Braita because he holds that the idol has which is equivalent to a nida, is the same level of tuma as that of the zav. Okay, so that's the point we're at there. Now we get to a new discussion slightly in the Gemara. By Rav Chama Bar Guria. Okay, so he's going to ask the question. Remember we saw previously that it talked about Avarim, that the parts of the idol, okay? Or whether it talked about the accoutrements, the utensils of the idol, okay? All right, on what level were those? And there was a difference of opinion between Rabbi Akiva and the rabbis, okay? So now he's asking a somewhat similar question. Pointed out that if you smash the idol, okay, that seems to imply that the worshiper no longer says it has efficacy. If that's the case, what about parts of that idol? Okay. Now let's say you have an idol that wasn't smashed, but it comes in sections. And you can assemble it or disassemble it, okay? So you have a whole, let's say an arm or a leg or a torso or a head, that you have these different parts of the idol that can be reassembled to make the entire idol. Is that the same as a smashed idol pieces or not? Okay. So that's what we're clarifying, right? By Rav Chama Bar Guria. So he asks the following question about a disassembled idol and its parts. Avodah Zara, an idol that comes in this variety, okay? Yeshna le'evarim, o eina le'evarim. Do we say its parts, okay? Okay, separate parts. Does it still hold the same view as Rabbi Akiva, that it is like defile on the level of Nida, or not? Hey, so the Gemara is going to come and try to respond. Hey, where we might say that the idol can be put together by a common and unskilled person, okay? Lo tibailach. Okay, one doesn't even have to ask that question. The keman, the mechaberet dami. Why? Because that then is considered as if it was an attached, already able to be put together. Okay, and therefore Rabbi Akiva would say, as we said, it's the level defilement and the level of the nida. Ki tibayalach, where you have to ask this question. Okay, where an unskilled person is not able to put it together. What's its status? Asks the Gemara. The fact that a unskilled person is not able to put it together, according to whom is it? Right? According to whose view? Dimit bara dami. Do we say it's like broken, okay, smashed pieces from the idol, right? O dilma ha lo mechasra. Or do we say it's not lacking anything under those circumstances? Ika debayla lahach gisa. There are those who ask the question on one hand, or on one side, where it's a situation that an unskilled person is able to put it back together. Lo tebayilach. You don't have to even ask that. The keman de mitpa'a dami, because then it's like broken, similar to broken. Ki tebayilach, when you have to ask this question, hecha dehedyat yachol lahachzira, where an unskilled person is able to put it back together. Mai, what's the situation? Kevan dehedyat yachol lahachzira, since an unskilled person is able to put it back together. Keman de mechabra dame. Do we say it's like something that's put together, similar to something that's together? O dilma, or perhaps hashta miha kishlafa visharya. Or do we say, therefore, that it's like it's in pieces and therefore permitted? In other words, permitted to use the pieces, and the pieces don't render defilement. Okay? Teku. We have no clear answer. Okay. Let's go on. By Rav Achdeboy Bar Ami. Okay? So he's going to ask a slightly different question. Let's assume now we have idols that are small, like talisman. One might carry it in their pocket, or they might wear it on a chain or a leather strap around their neck. Okay? And the idol may be, let's say, I don't know, let's say the size of a watch face, just to give an example. Okay? So here, let's give this example, right? By Rab Achvoy Bar Ami. Okay? He says as follows: Avodah Zara, Pechuta Mikzayet Mahu. If the size of the idol is less than an olive in size, what's its status? Right? Matkifla Rav Yosef. So Rav Yosef challenges him, right? Lamai, what's the basis of his question? Ilema le'inyan isura. If you're going to say that it's in respect to prohibitions, lo yehe ela zvuv ba'al ikrom. Okay, that's no different than the example of a Canaanite idol that was called zvuv. It was about the size of a large horsefly. Okay, all right, and that was the chief idol in the Canaanite city of Ekron, the Tanya, as taught in the Braita, right? Vayasimu lehen ba'al brit lelogim, okay, as cited in the pasuk, and they made Baal Brit their god. Okay, in Shoftim, Zeh Zvuv Baal Ekron. That was Zvuv, who was the god of Ekron. Okay, Milamed Shekol Echad ve'echad Asad Demut Yirato. That each of the inhabitants of the city made the god, the one that they feared, the likeness of the god, okay? Umanicha betoch kiso, and he would put it inside his pocket, his bag, his saddle bag, right? Kevan shezochra, right? When he would remember, motziami toch kiso, umechabka menashka, okay? That he would pull it out of his bag and he would hug it and kiss it. Ela le'inyan tuma mai. But if we're talking about the question of such an idol rendering defilement, what's its status? Kevan de'it kish l'sheretz. If you're going to say that we'll associate it a level of defilement with a sheretz, ma sheretz beka'adasha, af avodah zara nami beka'adasha, then I would say that the same way the minimum measurement of defilement for a sheretz is by a lentil, so likewise the size of this idol also would be by a lentil. O dilma, or perhaps ha'it kish lamet, who maybe I would associate it with a level of defilement that's that of a corpse. Ma'amet bekazayit, whereas with a corpse, one needs a minimum measurement of an olive, of avodah zara bekazayit. So likewise, the idol, the minimum measurement has to be an olive zama. Now, we come back to an attempt to answer. Amar Rav Avia, says Rav Avia, V'itema Rabba Ba'ula, and others say it was Rabba Ba'ula, Ta'ashma. Come and listen to the following Braita. He said, the Tanya was taught, Avodah Zara, Pechutam Mikazayat, an idol which is smaller than an olive's amount, Ein Batuma Kol Ikar. It has no level of defilement whatsoever. Shene Amar, as a pasuk, citing the pasuk, Vayishlach et afara el kever b'nei ha'am. Right. So, citing this pasuk, that he cast the powder of the idol upon the graves of the children of the people. Okay. Namely, what does that imply? Ma'ameit b'kazayat, af avodah zarah b'kazayat. The same way that the minimum measurement of the corpse tumah is an olive amount, so likewise for an idol it is a olive amount. Rabbanan, as far as the rabbis are concerned, lamai hilchata it kish l'sheretz. So what then did the rabbis say associate the law of defilement? What did they associate with the measurement, the minimum measurement for a sheretz? The lo matame b'masa. Okay, that says that did not apply. Okay, by carrying. The nida, and as far as a nida goes, de'ena la'avarim. Okay, and as far as an idol, okay, right, de'ena la'avarim. Okay, that with regards there to the idol, that part, that in their situation, okay, this doesn't apply to the separate limbs, okay? And then lamate, and what applies to the mate, defilement of the mate? The lo matame b'ka'adasha, because that does not render defilement on the measurement of a lentil, okay? So the Gemara asks, Ema l'chumra, okay? Why is that the case? Maybe we need to say that this is a stringency. Lamai hilchata eksher rachmana l'sheretz. And we would say, what does the Torah then liken and associate it, the defilement for a sheretz? L'tmuye b'ka'adasha, okay? To render it on the measurement of a lentil. L'nida. And what does the Torah then require as a minimum measurement for a nida defilement? L'tmuye be'evan misama, enough to defile, we said, a large boulder. Ekshe rachmana lameit. Okay, maybe instead, okay, I would say the following, that maybe the Torah, okay, is trying to make the association with that of the defilement level of a corpse, the tmuye ba'ohel, okay, to render it defilement under the idea of a covering, right, of the ohel. Tumat avodah zarah, the rabbananhi. But the Gemara says, but hold on, the whole issue of the defilement in regarding a idol is a rabbinic issue. It's not a Torah issue, okay? V'kula v'chumra, and whether we say that it's for a leniency or a stringency, right? V'kula makshinan, v'chumra lo makshinan, okay? We juxtapose it, okay, to a lenient an example and not to a stringent example. And that's where we end that particular discussion, okay? So in other words, in essence, what we're saying is, according to the rabbis, the carrying of an idol would not be defilement on the level of a zav or a nida, but only on the level of a sheretz, and that would have to be an idol in its entirety, in one piece, and not the separate segments of the idol. Okay? Now, since we've been discussing issues of Tumah, the next Mishnah is going to pick up that same motif, if you will, okay? But again, has nothing to do per se with our initial discussion of Shabbat and the laws of Shabbat, but instead focuses on what we said was the concept of the beginning of the parak, which we said is how do we know about this situation? Can we cite verses to support our argument? Okay, our new Mishnah. Minayan l'sfina shehi tahara. How do we know that a ship, a boat, okay, is considered undefiled, clean, right? Why? Shneamar, we have a pasuk, derech aniyah belev yam. Okay? The pasuk saying basically the way of the ship is in the midst of the sea. Okay? In that situation, that the okay, is the basic idea that the same way the ship is out at sea, it has no contact with anything but the water. Right? Pshita, says the Gemara. Isn't that obvious? Aniyah belev yamhi. It's a ship in the middle of the sea. Hakamash malan, but it comes to teach us, okay, right? Kis kiyam, that it's like the sea. Mayam tahor, afsfina tahor. The same way that the sea is pure or as clean, so the ship should be seen. It should be clean, right? Now, so the Gemara raises another example, right? And we're going to exclude for the moment a large ship that might be going on the Mediterranean. And instead, we're going to come up with another kind of boat, okay? And this would be a much smaller boat that would say that go up and down the Jordan River. And the question is, what might that boat be made from? Well, it could be made, for example, from reeds that are sewn together, and then pitch or tar is put on the inside of the boat in order to enable it, right, to remain afloat. Okay, so Tanya Chananya Omer, a Braita teaches that Chananya, okay, taught the following, okay, example, okay, Nilmada misak, okay, maybe we should learn this from the example of a sack, right? In this case, maybe we're talking about sack kind of thing, where the sack is possible to become tameh, namely, ma sak metaltel milo v'reikan, the same way that a sack, right, from coarse material can be carried either full or empty. Af kol metaltel melo v'reikan. So likewise, anything else that can be carried either full or empty, la'afuke sfina, okay, with the exception of a boat, right? De'ena metaltelet, okay, that it cannot be carried, okay, on land, either both full or empty. My Benaihu, asks the Gemara, what's the question? Ika Benaihu Sfina Shel Cheres. The difference between them is a boat made out of earthenware. Okay? Now, commentaries seem to imply that this seems to be a difficult concept. However, this could have been like a model of a boat that they would test on the water, or it could be just a very small kind of almost like a raft that would be used to sort of carry produce or packages down the Jordan River. Okay? Manda Amar Aniya Belev Yam. Okay, according to the one who says a boat in the midst of the sea, Hanami Belev Yam. This is still also in the midst of water. Lamanda Amar Kisak, but according to one who says that that could be like a sack, a bag, right? Hanach, these other items, okay, right, written in the sack, okay, in the verse, he tichtive gabe sack. It only applies to items that are similar to a sack, right, to a bag, large bag, okay? Te'i metaltelet malova rekan in, that if you can carry it, regardless of whether it is full or empty, yes, it's capable of becoming tameh, lo, and if not, lo. And if not, then it's not capable of becoming tameh. Aval sfina shalcheres, but a boat made out of earthenware, afal gav de'ena metaltelet malova rekan, okay, but a boat of that kind, even though it can't be carried full or empty, inami, okay, or perhaps Sfinat Hayarden, this Jordan River skiff, let's say, right? Laman Da'amar Aniyah Belev Yamhi, who says it's like a ship in the ocean. Hanami Aniyah Belev Yamhi, okay? Right? We say there that it's like that kind of a ship, and therefore it would be pure, right? It doesn't have any defilement. Laman Amar metaltelet malova rekam, but according to the one who says something where it can be carried full or empty, and perhaps these Jordan River skiffs were small enough that they would pull them out of the Jordan River, load them on land with whatever packages or produce or whatever, and then lift it and carry it back and then put it back in the water. So therefore it is something that could be carried either full or empty, right? Nami metaltelet melovarekan. Here, this is an example of something that can be carried either full or empty. The Amar Rabbi Chanina ben Akavia, it says by Rabbi Chanina ben Akavia, Mepnei ma omru sfinat hayarden tme'ah, on what basis did some say that a Jordan River skiff is capable of becoming tameh? Mepnei sheto'anin ota biyabasha, because they load it when it's on dry land. Umoridin ota lamayim, and then they bring it down and put it in the water. Ma Rabbi Yehuda, Amar Rav says Rabbi Yehuda in the name of Rav, Le'olam al yimna adam et atzmo mi beit hamidrash va'afilu sha'achat. So Rabbi Yehuda says in the name of Rav, always a person should not prevent himself from coming to the base of Midrash even for 1 hour. Shaharei kama shanim nishneit mishnazo. For how many years has this Mishnah been taught? Beveit HaMidrash, in the base Midrash. V'lo nitgale ta'ama ad sheba Rabbi Chanina ben Akavia. And the reasoning of this Mishnah, okay, was not revealed until along came Rabbi Chanina ben Akavya, who pirsha and explained it. Amar Rabbi Yonatan, says Rabbi Yonatan, La'olam al yimne adam et atzmo mi beit midrash mivdivrei Torah. He says, basically, a person should never abstain from the base midrash and from learning Torah. Va'afilu b'sha'at mita, even when he's close to death, right? Shnei Amar, as it says, Zot HaTorah Adam ki yamut ba'ohel, because it says this is the Torah when a man is close to death in his tent, right? Afilu b'sha'at mita, tehei oseg b'Torah. Even when he's close to death, he should be engaged in Torah study. Amar Reish Lakish, says Reish Lakish, en divrei Torah mitkaimin ela b'mi shememit atzmo aleha. That true Torah learning cannot endure unless a person really almost sacrifices himself for it. Shnei Amar Zot HaTorah Adam ki yamut bo'ohel. This is the Torah when a man tends to die in his tent. Okay, we're going to go on now. Amar Rava, right? Says Rava says the Chananya, okay, on Pei Dalet, right? Now he says according to Chananya, Tiltul al yedei shvarim shmei titul. Okay, that carrying something, okay, that can be pulled by oxen is still considered a means of carrying. The Tnan, why? Because we have a Braita that teaches as follows. Okay, Shalosh agalote. There are 3 varieties of wagons. Okay, first variety, Asuya Kitatedra. Okay, its worst one is that it is made like a chair or like a throne. Namely, it's a 3-sided wagon. Okay, the sides are 3 sides with a bottom, and the front side is open. Okay, Tme'a midras. That is capable of becoming defilement through contact, right? Through pressure, treading. Second kind of wagon, Kemita, that it's made like a bed. Okay, it's a long wagon. Okay, that all 4 sides are enclosed. Okay, at the bottom, right? And it can be pulled, right? What about that? Tme'a, tamei that kind of wagon can become defiled, okay, through contact with a corpse, okay? Third kind of wagon, shel avanim, okay? That we would say it's a wagon that is made out of stone, okay? Namely, it's really for carrying large stones, and the bottom of the wagon, instead of being solid, is more like netting, okay? And so the stones will sit in the net, right? Tahora mikal klum, okay? That wagon, okay, is completely clean. Va'amar Rabbi Yochanan, says Rabbi Yochanan, ve'im yesh ba beit kibul rimonim. So he says, Rabbi Yochanan, what about the fact that in that third kind of wagon with the netting on the bottom, let's say that it's the receptacle, the bottom, okay, the size of the netting is such so that even pomegranates won't fall through it, okay? There's small holes in the netting. Tme'a, tamei mate. then in that case, okay, it is susceptible to defilement, and it could be defiled, okay, with contact with a corpse. Right? Now, the Gemara continues. Shalosh tevot hein. There are three kinds of chests. Okay, think of a seaman's chest. Okay, or right, that kind of a or a chest used to send kids away to camp in the summer. What would you call it? Okay, right? Okay, teva shepatcha mitzida. Okay, a chest that opens from the side, tme'a midras. That's capable of defilement. Okay, through contact, right? Through a zav sits on it or leans on it or something like that. Okay, right? Milamala, a chest that opens up from above. Okay, larger chest that is capable of defilement. Tmeya tamei meis. Okay, from defilement with contact with a corpse. Okay, v'haba'a b'midah, and here, okay, we said a much larger chest that some would argue, let's say, holds 40 seah. Okay, tahora miklum. Okay, where it is always completely clean. Now, Tanu Rabbanan, says the Braita, right? Num Braita, Midras, Kli Cheres. Okay, what about the contact of treading, all right, of an earthenware vessel, okay, is tahor, is clean. Rabbi Yossi Omer, af hasfina. So likewise, he says a ship too. My kamar, what is he saying? Ma Rav Zavid, says Rav Zavid, Hachi Kamar. This is what he means to be saying. Midras Kli Cheres Tahor. Magao Tamei. Okay? That the treading, the pressure put on an earthenware vessel allows it to be clean. Okay? But contact with it, okay, can render it unclean. Okay? Usfina shel cheres, and a boat made out of earthenware, tme'a kechananya, would be capable of defilement, as said by Hananya. Rabbi Yossi Omer, says Rabbi Yossi, af hasfina tahora, kitana didan. And he argues, no, that the boat, the earthenware ship, would also be clean, as is said by our Tana. Now, Matkifla Rav Papa. Rav Papa challenges this. And he says, responds, my af, why say two, a ship two? Okay, Ella Amar Rav Papa, says Rav Papa as follows, Hachi Ka'amar. This is what it means to say, Midras Kli Cheres Tahor, that the pressure, the treading on an earthenware vessel is clean, the vessel remains clean, Umaga'o Tamei, but contact with it can make it defiled, right? V'shel eitz, and a vessel made out of wood, Bein midraso, bein maga'o tamei, regardless of whether it is contact by pressure, by treading on it, sitting on it, whatever, or touch, okay, can become tamei. Sfina tayardain tuhora kitana didan. But a Jordan river skiff, as we said, can remain tahor, okay, like our Tana, as our Tana said. Rabbi Yossi Omer, says Rabbi Yossi there, Omer af hasfina tme'ah, sorry, sorry. So likewise, he said that kind of ship, right, can be tameh like Hananya, in the view of Hananya. Now, the Gemara wants to know, Umidras klecheres minalan de tahor, and treading, pressure, put on a earthenware vessel. How do we know that it remains clean? Amar Chizkiah, says Chizkiah as follows, the Amar Kra, based on the following pasuk. The ish asher yiga b'mishkavo, okay, where it says whoever touches his bed, right? Makish mishkavo lo. We make an association between his bed and himself, particularly if the person is a zav. Okay? Mahu, sorry, Mahu itle tahara, the mikvah, the same way he is capable of becoming purified by immersing in the mikvah. Af mishkavo, nami itle tahara, the mikvah. So his bed, so to speak, can be cleaned in the mikvah. The Bey Rabbi Yishmael, Tana, in the academy of Rabbi Yishmael, they taught it as follows. Kemishkav nidata yela. Okay? Namely, based on a pasuk, it shall be unto her as a bed of impurity, like a bed of nida. Right? Namely, makish mishkava la, that they associate the bed to her. Mahi itla tahara b'mikvah, the same way she is able to become cleansed in the mikvah. Af mishkava nami itla tahara b'mikvah. So likewise, her bed can be cleansed in a mikvah. La'afuke klei cheres, to exclude items, vessels made out of earthenware, delete le tahara b'mikvah, that are unable to be cleansed in a mikvah, right? Because we're aware of the fact that they cannot be cleansed, okay, only through being broken, okay? Now, what happens? Meitiv Rav Ila'ah. Rav Ila'ah raises an objection with the following. Mapatz, a reed mat, right? Bameit minayin, can become tamei, mate, defiled in terms of a corpse. How do we know this? Let's go over, right? Vidinhi, and it's a kal v'chomer that we're going to learn to understand this. Uma pachin ktanin shetahorin bezav, the same way that small utensils, small vessels, okay, can be tohor, can be purified with regards to a zav, tmein b'meit, but they are capable of becoming, okay, tameh, defiled with contact with a corpse. Okay, and when we talk about small vessels, we'll see, clarify it in a moment. Mapatz shetameh bezav, a reed mat that can become defiled through contact with the zav, eino din sheyehe tameh b'meit. Is it not logical, right? The kal v'chomer, a fortiori argument that it should become tameh, defiled with contact with a corpse? Va'amai. So why is this the case? Asks the Gemara. Ha'litle tahara b'mikvah. But doesn't that have the capability of becoming clean by immersion in the mikvah? Amar le Rab Chanina, Shani Hata. It's different there. Why? Ho'il v'mi'ika b'mino. Why? Because we're saying there that if there are other similar vessels that can be purified in a mikvah, so perhaps this kind of vessel also can be purified in a mikvah. Okay? Amar le, so one response, Rachmana litzlan, God forbid, so to speak, that we may hide da'ata from that kind of thinking. Okay? Right? Because we're talking about here small earthenware pitchers, for example, that have narrow necks. Right? Adraba, says the other one. Rachmana litzlan mida'ata didach. God forbid from your thinking, your perspective. V'ta'amamai, and what's the reasoning? Trei krai kative, that there are two verses that are written. Kativ on one verse, v'ish asher yiga b'mishkavo, okay? That a person who has contact with his bed, ukativ, and it's also written in another verse, v'chol hamishkav asher yishkav alav hazav yitma, namely that any item that one could sit or lie on, that the zav will sit or lie on, becomes tamei. Ha-ketzad, what are we talking about here? Yesh v'mino, that there are other vessels of a similar kind. Okay? Namely, even if one is unable, if the vessel is unable to be immersed, okay, in the mikvah to become clean, it would still be subject to midras tuma. Afal gav delit le tahara b'mikvah, even though it cannot become purified in the mikvah, and b'mino, okay? Yesh b'mino, if there are similar kinds, even though it can't be purified in the mikvah, it's still subject to midras, and b'mino, okay, right? If it is not able, and other vessels are unique, it's not able to have similar variety, makish mishkavo lo. Then we associate it to the bed, which is associated to him, and therefore it does become tamei. So Rava now continues, raising the following point. Rav Amar, Midras Kli Cheres Tahor Mehacha. That claim that treading, right, pressure put on a earthenware vessel, that it maintains its cleanliness, based on what? Okay, cites a pasuk. V'chol Kli Patuach Asher Ein Samid Patil Alav. Namely, that he's saying, okay, and every open vessel which has no covering or bound upon it, in other words, no stopper in it, okay, that is what becomes unclean, all right? Ha yesh samid patil alav. But if there is, sorry, there is some kind of covering in it, there's a stopper on this earthenware vessel. And again, think of a small earthenware vessel in those days that was used, say, as a pitcher. Okay, so it has a very narrow neck, right? Okay, tahorhu, it would be pure. Mi lo askinan, aren't we then not dealing with a situation? Diyachidinhu leishtonida. Okay, now that isn't that dealing with a situation that maybe this vessel, okay, had been utilized by his wife, who was a nida. V'ka'amar rachmana tahor. Nevertheless, the Torah tells us that it is tahor. Okay. Right, we're now going to get to a new Mishnah. All right, this is still part of Friday's Daf, and for a little bit of time that we have still, I'm going to continue with it, if that's okay with everybody. All right. And go into what would have been Shabbos's daf. Now, I have to tell you that though it's short material, it's very complicated. Okay? And I hope if you're using Art Scroll that you have diagrams, okay, there in the text. Okay? I've been using the Korensteinsalz, and they had at least a half a dozen different diagrams because a variety of Rishonim give different explanations. I drew up my own diagram, so I want to just introduce it very quickly with the following idea. Okay? We're talking about a personal garden that somebody can have, okay, either close to their house or maybe their personal garden in the field. And the size of the garden is basically 6 by 6 handbreadths. And we're going to be told that they can plant 5 different varieties of vegetables in this one garden. Okay? So what our concern is about is the mixing of seeds that's prohibited. Okay? So the question then comes, how do you plant these 5 different varieties of vegetables so that the seeds don't mix? Okay? Is it possible to say that you could plant 4 along the sides, okay, and 1 in the middle, and leave enough space between the 1 in the middle and the 4 on the sides that you have a distance of 1.5 handbreadths, okay, between each species? And so Rashi has one way of explaining it. Rambam has another way of explaining it. Okay? And other Rishonim all give others. And so the different diagrams, if you have it in Art Scroll, deal with those different means. Okay? So I hope that gives a little bit of explanation when in starting and going into the part of this Mishnah and Gemara. Okay, so the Mishnah says, Minayim la'aruga, how do we know, again, that a garden bed, let's call it, okay, personal garden, right? Shehi shisha al shishat tfachim, which can be 6 by 6 handbreadths. Shezorin betocha chamisha zeronin, that it's possible to seed, to plant, right, 5 different kinds of seeds in it, okay, and still ensure that the seeds don't get mixed. Okay, so continuing, arba al arba ruchot ha'aruga ve'echat ba'emtza. According to our Mishnah, one has the 4, okay, on the 4 different directions, the 4, let's say, sides, and 1 in the middle. Shene'amah, that's citing again a pasuk that says, Ki ka'aretz totzi tzimcha ukigana zira'eha tatzmiach. As the earth brings forth its buds, right, it will blossom, right? Zar'a lo ne'amar, sign, in other words, seed, it doesn't say, ela zero eha, but seeds, implying more than at least 2, if not more. My mashma, asks the Gemara, what are we talking about here? Amar Rav Yehuda, when we cite the pasuk, Ki ke'eretz totzi tzimcha, okay, let's darshan each word of the pasuk. Totzi, chad, that's one. Tzamcha, chad, yeah, grow, that's two. Hare trei, that's two. Zeroeha, seeds, plural. Trei, that's got to be at least two. That gives me ha'arba, that gives me four. Tatzmiach, again, chad, that's one more. Hachamisha, that gives me five. Right? So what happens? Let's go on to pei hey. All right. V'kim lahola rabbanan. And the rabbis therefore maintained that this, the chamisha b'shita, that you could have 5 different varieties in a 6-row space. Lo yan ke mahadade, so long as that they didn't draw substance one from another. Uminalan, the hakim laho rabbanan, the chamisha b'shita miltahi. And how do we know that the rabbis maintain that this is a possibility, the consequences? The Amar Rabbi Chia Ba'aba, Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Chia Ba'aba said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, Mai dichtiv, when it says it's written, Lo tasig gvul re'echa, asher gavlu harishonim, right? That you should not remove the neighbor's landmark, which they've set from of old, namely, gvul shegvul rishonim lo tasig. Okay, namely that the boundaries, okay, that the earlier ones, those of old, okay, you can't, so to speak, encroach on their boundaries. My gvulo rishonim. What do we mean by the boundaries set by the earlier ones? We're talking about boundaries set for each plant. Amar Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachmani, Amar Rabbi Yonatan, Mai dichtiv. What does it mean when it says, Eile b'nei se'ar, hachori yoshvei haaretz? What does it mean when this pasuk says, they are the sons of Seir the Horite, the inhabitants of the earth? Okay, in other words, the earlier inhabitants of the land, right? That they set boundaries or plants, right? Atu, namely, right? The following. Okay, what do they mean? Since Kuli Alma Yoshve Rakia Ninhu, are you saying, since when do we say that they are the inhabitants of the land? Is everybody else the inhabitants of heaven? Okay. Ela shahayu biki'im biyeshuvah shel eretz. Namely, that they were well versed, well familiar with how to inhabit the cultivation of the land. Shahayu omrim, that they used to say, malek hanezeh lezayit, that a measurement, a rod, okay, this much land, okay, can be full of, for olives, right, olive trees. Malek hanezeh the gefanim, and then a rod, a measurement of this much land would be good instead for vines, right? Malay kanezeh l'te'enim, and a rod, a measurement of this much land, is going to be good for figs. The chori, right? And others say this is how we know that when they called them chorites, that they were the old inhabitants, first founders of the land. How did they get that name? The chori shemerichin et haaretz, that they knew it by smelling the land. The chivi, but they were also called chivites. What about that name? Amar Rav Papa, says Rav Papa, shahayu to'amim et haaretz, that they would even, so to speak, taste the earth. The same way, okay, kechivya, the same way that a snake would taste the earth. They would get down and crawl and feel the earth, almost taste it. Rav Acha bar Yaakov amar chori shene'asu b'nei chorin mikniseihem. Okay, that they were called Chorites because they became free of their property when they were chased out of the land when the Jewish people came in. Right? Now, Amar Rav Asi, says Rav Asi, back to our initial discussion. Okay, Aruga, right? Tocha, right? Inside this, we said that the garden bed had to be 6 by 6 handbreadths. Excuse me. Tocha, internally, shesh, okay, it's 6. Chutz migvuleha, excluding its outward boundary. Tanya nami hachi, and we learn also in another braita, aruga tocha shisha, that its contents, right, is 6. Vuleha bakama, and its outward boundaries, okay, what might it be? Keditznan, as taught Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Rochav. Okay, Rabbi Yehuda is saying, okay, that its width, okay, is how much? Kimalo Rochav Parsa. Okay, basically like the width of the sole of a foot. Amar Rabbi Zera, Ve'itema Rabbi Chanina bar Papa. Another say Rabbi Chanina bar Papa. Ma'itama de Rabbi Yehuda. What's Rabbi Yehuda's line of reasoning? Dichtiv. Why? Because there's a pasuk that says, V'hishkita beraglecha kigan hayorek. You will water it like as if using your foot. Okay. Ma regel tefach af gvul nami tefach. Not the same way that the measurement of the sole of a foot is 1 handbreadth, so the border must also be 1 handbreadth. Amar Rav, says Rav, another statement, clarifying. Aruga, this bed, garden bed, where are we talking about its location? Bechorva, in a more desolate area, Shanina. That's where we taught it. V'ha'ika makom kranot. Okay, but is there any case then for corner spaces? Ama amre be Rav Meshamya de Rav, and the school of Rav said in Mishmei, in the name of Rav, b'memale et hakranot, a different example, namely that the person filled in the corners. Okay, namely, if we're thinking of our diagram again, thinking of the fact that 4 of the varieties of vegetable were planted in each of the 4 corners, and then the other was in the middle, not along the sides. Right? Ulezereb abrai, veloli me'elbrik megavai, he says. Does that mean that you plant it, you seed it, okay, by putting it on the outside and not filling in on the inside? Okay, and let's go on and finish up for a moment. Gzeira shema yemale et hakranot, lest the decree, lest one prevent one from filling up the corners. Right? V'lo yehe ela rosh tor yerek. But, says the Gemara, that is only in regards than a triangular plot of vegetables. Okay? In other words, if you had made your garden such that it had corners, triangular corners, then it was very clear that that was a separate person's garden from someone else. Okay, right. And we're going to stop, I think, right there today. I think you guys should be able to, all right, because hey, Shabbos's daf is just the rest of Pei Hey, okay? And then what we'll do, we'll actually finish up, okay? And probably want to try to start the new Gemara on Sunday on Pei Vav with the Mishnah, all right? So I wish everybody a good Yontif and a good Shabbos, and everybody stay well.
John,
Maybe we-
thank you very much.
Maybe we could stand around this way for a minyan, you know?
Yeah, it's
We could
called
use-
stop distancing.
Yeah,
Social distancing your
social
crowd.
distancing. We could stand this way for a
Social
minyan and get
distancing.
more people there.
That's true. Very good, Ted. We stayed up last night to see pictures of our grandson putting his tefillin on at the kotel.
Oh, wow,
And the
beautiful.
kotel is subdivided into sections, and each section, they have to do social distancing and daven with masks on.
Oh.
So they're only allowed 10, maybe 15 people in a section. So they were all spread out in the section. And so that tells you that even there, while they're promoting outdoor davening of groups, they're still not really opening up the synagogues there, and they're well ahead of us in dealing with the virus.
Have a good
Right.
Shabbos and a
Good
good
Shabbos,
Yom
Good
Yom
Tov.
Yontif and a good Shabbos to
Thank
everybody.
you for everything. Thank you.